All right, guys, this is part two. I'll talk for maybe a good 20 minutes here. Um, this article is almost done, so I could maybe start do another topic here, but I mean, my computer froze. Give me a sec here. No, wait. Yeah, it's frozen. I have to refresh this page here. Give me a sec here. Right. Yeah. So, however, Johnson noted that the two have a good relationship. So, according to this article, James Gunn and Peter Safran and Dwayne Johnson, they have a good relationship. They have a good relationship. They have a good relationship, obviously, which is good. I've heard a lot of good things about it. All the people. There's no one in Hollywood. There's all these actors. They all love James Gunn. They all like James Gunn a lot. Yeah, supposedly they all like him a lot. Yeah. James and I have known each other. They're quoting Dwayne Johnson now. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. Johnson wrote Tuesday. It's no different now, and I will always root for DC and Marvel to win and win big. Yeah, I agree. Hopefully, I hope Marvel. I hope Marvel continues to succeed, obviously, and I hope the new DC franchise succeeds too. I hope their movies are all the movies are hits. Yeah, I'm gonna make a prediction here. I believe the first Superman movie that James Gunn and them do, if they do it right, I think it'll hit $1 billion. I think it'll hit $1 billion, and I believe the Batman movie they do can hit $1 billion too. If Matt Reeves Batman was proof that there's a big market for Batman in the DC universe, obviously, as the Matt Reeves Batman did almost $1 billion, did $800 million. If you make that Batman movie in the new DC universe and they tell a great story, I can see that movie doing $1 billion. I think it'll even top Matt Reeves Batman. Think about it. Matt Reeves Batman's not part of the DCU, and yet it made almost $1 billion. It made $800 million. See what I'm saying? If you tell that amazing Batman story in the new DCU universe, I can see it making $1 billion. $952 million. Yeah, $1 billion. You just gotta do it right, man. You gotta tell great stories. Just tell a great story, and the money will come. Yeah, you're always focus on the art first over the money. If you tell an amazing story, you will get fans, you will get busting seats. There's exceptions, obviously. There's some amazing movies that don't make money, obviously. If you tell an amazing story, tell an amazing comic book story with popular brands like a popular DC franchise, you will make your money. You just gotta tell great stories. Some Sarah. So hopefully, like Dwayne Johnson said, hopefully DC wins big, obviously, in this new DC franchise, obviously. Right? I'm continuing here. It all looked very different 2 months ago when Johnson was feeling wistful at Black Adam's New York premiere, October 12th, where he told reporters about his first day in costume to the actor. I just I just took a look in the mirror. It was a very humbling moment because I fought so hard for this movie to get this movie. Yeah, it sucks, man. Dwayne Johnson fought very hard to get this movie made for years, and it ends up flopping, man. So think about it. Imagine spending I don't know more than 10 years trying to get a movie made, and your movie flops, man. That sucks. I feel a bit bad for Dwayne Johnson. That sucks. He worked hard. You know what I'm saying? He worked really hard. You know what I'm saying, and his movie flopped, obviously, which sucks. Obviously, it's not fun. Obviously, some Sarah. Yeah, it all looked very different 2 months ago when Johnson was feeling wistful at Black Adam's New York premiere on October 12th, where he told reporters about his first day in costume, said the actor. I just took a look in the mirror. It was a very humbling moment because I fought so hard for this movie to get this. I fought so hard for this movie to get this movie made, and keep it on track. 15 long years, and here we are. So it took Dwayne Johnson 15 years just to get the movie made, and the movie ended up flopping, ended up tanking on theaters. It sucks. It sucks, obviously. I feel bad for the man, Sarah. Whereas I personally don't have to worry about my movie flopping financially, but my movie could flop artistically. That's why you got to make sure you're prepped. Write a good script, take your notes, make sure Peter or Mel Gibson obviously take their notes, and you do the contrast and you watch movies that way they're prepped, and you got a good movie. It's one thing to have a hit, another thing to have a shitty movie. It's one thing to have a great movie, but your movie is a flop financially. So I'm saying you need both. Remember that video I made, the art and the money. Yeah, you need both are important. The money is important, but the art's also important too. Make sure you tell a great story, and hopefully your movie is a hit and it makes money. Obviously, hopefully it doesn't flop. So I'm saying. Obviously. All right, so now I'm gonna read what a statement Dwayne Johnson wrote on his Twitter account. I'm gonna read this here. Obviously, well, Dwayne Johnson made. I can't. Never mind, guys. I can't read this because I'm not logged into Twitter. Wait, I could read it. Yeah. So Dwayne Johnson wrote a statement, obviously, on his Twitter account regarding the future of Black Adam. He says this: "My passionate friends, I wanted to give you." This is from his Twitter account. "I want to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DC universe." So let's see what Dwayne Johnson has to say regarding Black Adam's future in the DC universe. Obviously, James Gunn and I connect, and Black Adam will not be in the first chapter of storytelling. So I'm saying, as I mentioned before, because Black Adam flopped, I don't believe it's a good idea bringing him in the new DC universe. You're just going to create confusion and all this stuff if you bring him in the new universe. To be honest, in my opinion, so I'm saying. James Gunn and I are connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and Seven Bucks have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in the future DC multiverse chapters. Obviously. So the only way I can think of them bringing Dwayne Johnson in some capacity is if they have a multiverse, like I mentioned earlier. So they're like, see, I'm always right, Suzanne. Now I'm wrong a lot of times, but I'm right a lot of times, Suzanne. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I'll always be root for DC and Marvel to win and win big. Hopefully, DC wins big. I hope the. I'm gonna be honest here. I hope James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC universe kicks Marvel's ass, as I prefer DC over Marvel, to be honest. Yeah, you guys know me, and I have very thick skin, and you can always count on me to direct with my words. That's the first page, obviously, and I'll read the second page here. This is the final page. These decisions made by James and DC leadership represent their vision of DCU through their creative lens. Yes, obviously, it's just business. James Gunn and what and Peter Safran are doing their very best. They want to do what's best for the new DCU franchise, and if that means Black Adam's on a new DC in the new chapters of the DC franchise, then it's so be it. Obviously, right? But Dwayne Johnson said they might use Black Adam in some capacity in the new DC universe in a multiverse. The only way I can see them bringing back characters from the old DCU is if they have a multiverse. That can work. Obviously, who knows? Maybe Dwayne Johnson might have a small role to play in the new DC universe, and he comes from a different multiverse. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm saying. After 15 years of relentless hard work to finally make Black Adam, I'm very proud of the film we delivered for the fans worldwide. You know what I'm saying? I know you're proud, Dwayne, but your movie flopped. You know what I'm saying? I will always look back on the fan reaction to Black Adam with tremendous gratitude, humility, and love. We did great. To my very passionate local Black Adam superhero general fans, I love you, thank you, and I will always listen to you and do my best to deliver and entertain you. What a hell of a month. Now all we need is some Terramania. Have a productive week and happy holidays to you and your families. Signed, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And that is Dwayne's statement he made on his Twitter accounts. So apparently Dwayne Johnson as a Black Adam will not be the new chapter of the new DCU in James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU universe, obviously. Obviously. And that ends this article. So I'm going to talk briefly about this. I personally don't believe. Dwayne Johnson made it very clear that Black Adam will not be in the new chapter of the new DC universe, because the main reason why I don't believe Black Adam will be in the new DC universe is because James Gunn and Peter Safran want to reboot the franchise. They want to start fresh. See what I'm saying? And the second reason, Black Adam was not successful. The movie flopped. It did not make any money. It lost probably a good $50 to $100 million. It lost a lot of money. Hence why they're not going to what? They're not going to have Black Adam be in what? Black Adam be in a new DC universe. But they might perhaps have him have a small role to play in later on in the future. He comes from a different multiverse. Some of that. We'll see what happens. I guarantee you, though, in Hollywood, you can't trust anyone. Just because James Gunn said what? He's looking forward to collaborate with Dwayne Johnson. That doesn't mean they're going to have him be in what? They're going to have him be in the new DC universe in some capacity. Maybe they might change their mind. Because in Hollywood, people change their minds all the time. Just like David Zaslav told Henry Cavill to what? Make that announcement he's back as Man of Steel. Then later on he gets the can, you're out. And we don't want you in the universe. Yeah, you can't trust anyone in Hollywood. Hollywood, everyone's for themselves. Samsara. You cannot trust anyone in Hollywood. Let me find a small little article here to read before I shut this cam off here. I can read maybe a good short article. I'll see if there's a more interesting topic here. So I don't think Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam has a future in the new DC universe, to be honest. The movie tanked. It was not successful, so I'm saying. The movie tanked. I'm trying to find more interesting articles here. I don't know what's going on here. Hollywood, yeah. I could be more specific. But I mean, yeah. Let's do Avatar. See if there's any news. Avatar. Here's one. How much has Avatar made so far? This is by Digital Spy. Is it long, this article? I don't know. Yeah, this is a short article. I can read this article before I shut this camera off here. So I hope you guys enjoyed my recent article. I talked about Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam. How there's chances are there's not a future for Dwayne Johnson in new DC, James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU universe, because the movie flopped, and Peter Safran and James Gunn want to start afresh, obviously. This is another article by Digital Spy. How much has Avatar: The Way of Water made so far? The quest is on for box office bucks. This is by Ian Sandwell. It was published today. Today, obviously. Give me a sec, guys. Before I read this short article, I'm going to go upstairs and get a coffee. Since we're doing, wait, don't hate me, son. Alright, sorry for the wait, guys. I went upstairs to get a coffee, and I'm going to upload this video when I'm done. And I will go to the store, get my beer and smokes, and I might get my cheesecake today. Why, if you're not getting food, no, I'm craving it. I'll save my money and get, like, cheesecake. I'm not going to get food. I am tempted to get a Subway, but Subway's expensive now. It's like $18 for a fucking combo, man. It's crazy, and it's getting annoying. So this is by Digital Spy. It's a very, very short article. I'm going to read this here, and I'm going to shut this camera off here, since I am. So Avatar: The Way of Water is now out in cinema after a 13-year interval for Avatar fans, as well as seeing it if it was worth the wait. Yeah, I told you, Avatar 2 lost a lot of momentum because James Cameron waited. It quote unquote lost momentum, right? Because the movie's doing good on theaters right now. Because James Cameron waited more than a decade to make the sequel, which he should never ever do again. He's not getting any younger. Do not wait another 10 years to make your next sequel, James Cameron, Sarah. Avatar: The Way of Water is now out in cinemas after a 13-year interval for Avatar fans, as well as seeing if it was worth the wait. I heard some great things about the movie, obviously. The question is it better than the first one? Is Avatar 2 better than the first one, right? So another big topic of conversation around the movie, it's box office performance. The first movie remains the biggest movie of all time, with a staggering $2.92 billion haul. It was briefly overtaken by Avengers Endgame with 2.8 before re-release saw Avatar overtake the sun to regain its crown. Yeah, Avatar is currently the king of the box office. It's sitting at $2.92 billion. And after Endgame takes second place with $2.8 billion. But please keep in mind, though, the Avatar 2 did 134 million opening weekend, which is more than double what the original did. So far it's I think it's near that like $600 million range for the box office. Sometime next week it will hit the billion. Towards the end of the year it will hit that $1 billion mark, Avatar. The question is, will it have enough legs going into the New Year's to get to 2 billion, 2.5 billion? I don't know. We'll see what happens, obviously. If the movie's really good and fans love it, perhaps Avatar might even do over $2 billion. I don't think it will, but I will not be surprised if Avatar does $2 billion. So I'm saying. So I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. Even though I don't believe Avatar will do $2 billion, I think it'll do maybe $1.5 billion, $1.3 billion, $1.4 billion, whatever it is, $1.7 billion, whatever it is. I will not be surprised if it does over $2 billion because it's James Cameron. You don't bet against James Cameron. And I heard some amazing things about the movie, Sarah. Yeah. We had a couple of years where big numbers at the box office have been far from guaranteed. However, we still had some 1 billion plus hits in that time. Spider-Man No Way Home did $1.92 billion, a billion less than Avatar. Top Gun Maverick did $1.49 billion, and Jurassic Dominion did $1 billion. So Jurassic World Dominion is another movie that hit $1 billion. I didn't know that. I thought it did under $1 billion. So I forgot about that movie when I mentioned the box offices the other day, right? All eyes are on Avatar: The Way of the Water to see if it can first reach that 1 billion milestone, before attention will turn if it can come close to challenging the record-breaking first. That's the record-breaking first movie. Yeah, that's the question. I believe Avatar will hit $1 billion by the end of the year. Sometime next week, or perhaps near New Year's, Avatar will hit that $1 billion range in the box office. The question is, will it have enough legs going into the New Year's to get to that $3 billion? That's tough, man. You're going to have to get repeat viewings, spread of word of mouth. You got to have a crazy amount of spread of word of mouth, yeah, if you want to hit that $3 billion. I don't think it will, but it might perhaps hit $2 billion. If it does, I will not be surprised, as I heard great things about the movie, obviously. But is it better than the first one? Well, that's the thing. If it's not better than the first, I don't see it getting to $2 billion. It can get to maybe $1.6 billion, $1.7 billion, $1.5 billion, but I don't think it will get to $2 billion. But I will not be surprised if Avatar does reach $2 billion, Sarah. It's pretty much the only blockbuster in town in this festive season. Yeah, it has no competition. Puss in Boots is not really a big competition for Avatar, right? Like, yes, fans will go see Puss in Boots, but it's not a big competition for Avatar, obviously. It's pretty much the only blockbuster in town this festive season. So just how much has it taken so far? How much money will Avatar: The Way of Water has taken as of December 2022? So domestically, it made $168,657,304 million in the U.S., overseas it made 387 $300,000 million, and with a global of 555,957,304,000 dollars. So it's already more than halfway to that billion mark, which will hit probably sometime next week. I don't think it'll hit a billion by the end of this week. Maybe not, but it'll probably hit a billion towards the end of the year, the end of next week. So forget what I said. I don't think Avatar will hit a billion by the end of this week. I think we'll hit a billion probably towards the New Year's, or sometime mid next week during the holidays. It'll hit that $1 billion range. Avatar, and the real question is, will it have enough legs going into New Year's for repeat viewings, spread of word of mouth to get to $2 billion? Will it have that kind of legs? Is it better than the first movie? If it's better than the first movie, I can see it getting to $2 billion, obviously, perhaps. If it's not better than the first movie, it might not get to $2 billion. It might maybe make 1.5, $1.7 billion maybe, which is profitable, obviously, right? Almost done this article here. Avatar: The Way of the Water's opening weekend already makes it the 10th highest grossing movie of the year, and it could 10th highest grossing movie of the year. You mean of all time? I don't think they mean of the year. I don't know. Really? There were 9 movies that did over $100 million. I don't think that's accurate. Avatar: The Way of the Water's opening weekend already made it to the 10th highest grossing movie of the year, and it could yet be challenged in the top 5 of 2022 by the time Christmas rolls around. By comparison, Avatar had grossed $241.6 million after its opening weekend in 2009. So Avatar 2 is doing more money than Avatar 1 did for within the first couple days, obviously. So maybe it might hit the $3 billion. You never know, right? By comparison, Avatar had grossed $241.6 million after its opening weekend in 2009, but went on to enjoy an extraordinary run that saw it cross the $2 billion mark on January 31st, 2010, and ending its release at $2.75 billion. With little competition, the sequel could also enjoy an extended run, but we won't get a true sense of that until we see how it holds this coming weekend. Yeah. The big question is how far of a drop will you see in the second week of Avatar 2's the second weekend, obviously. After Christmas, obviously, after the Christmas weekend, obviously, how much money will the Avatar movie have grossed? My guess is around that time it maybe would have grossed maybe $700 million by that time. And towards the end of the year, it hits the $1 billion range. But will it have the legs to get to that $2 billion? Disney is obviously hoping and praying that Avatar gets to $2 billion. That way they make hundreds of millions in profit. Because according to that article I read, Avatar was made for $600 million. $400 million to produce, $200 million in marketing. That means Avatar has to do like $1 billion too just to break even, man. So when John Campbell says $800 million, $900 million, I think it's more of that $1.2 billion range to break even. If that article, that source, if the sources are right, and it costs them $200 million in marketing, $600 million to make it, has to do like $1 billion too to break even. And that's why Disney is obviously hoping for like a $2 billion, $1.8 billion, $1.7 billion like box office. That way they make their hundreds of millions in profit, obviously. So I'm saying, huh? And that ends the article, guys. That ends the article. It was by Digital Spy. How much has Avatar: The Way of the Water made so far? It was a short article I thought I should read. So yeah. So guys, what do you think? Do you think Black Adam will be in a new DCU franchise? I highly doubt it. Dwayne Johnson clearly said that Black Adam will not be in a new chapter of James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU universe, obviously. You think he might have a small role to play? Maybe he comes from a different multiverse in the new DC universe. I don't know. James Gunn said he's looking forward to collaborate with Dwayne Johnson. But I told you can't trust anyone in Hollywood. You can easily change their mind, obviously. How much money do you think Avatar 2 will make? You think James Cameron will prove me wrong and the movie does over $2 billion? I don't know. Maybe. I told you. Even though I don't believe Avatar will hit $2 billion, I will not be shocked if it hits $2 billion. Because it's Avatar. Unheard of world building, unheard of visual effects. I will not be shocked if it has legs and it hits $2 billion. If it doesn't, I will not be shocked either, as James Cameron waited far too long for the movie. The movie lost a bit of momentum. And the question is Avatar 2 better than the first one? If it's better than the first one, I will not be shocked if it does over $2 billion. If it's not, then I'll probably what predict it'll do around that 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 billion dollar range, 1.3 billion dollar range. If it does 1.3 billion dollars, the movie made profit, but it wasn't a massive hit. For it to be a massive hit, it has to do like 1.5 billion to make like a couple hundred million in profit. So how much money do you think it'll do, man? They always say don't bet against James Cameron, obviously. How much money do you think Avatar 2 will do? I don't know. I don't know, obviously. I don't know, Sincere. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this interesting Hollywood news show. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'll make another very interesting video. It's Ivan Amir. I'm signing out. Peace.